This is when the spinning wheel goes. Uh, oh, wow. Looks like the broadcast was deleted on Facebook. Why? So am I live or am I not live? Facebook community is not going live. Why not? Okay. Well, this is confusing. I'm not sure if we should add one. Remove this, and I'm going to add it again. Okay. Save and okay. We should be live and the group as well. Here we go. Hi everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk, the show in which we talk about the technology and all the tools that we use to go streaming and to do live broadcasting. Uh, StreamYard is really the easiest way to go broadcasting, and for your business, for your hobbies, whatever it is. But some of us, like myself, like to go beyond and get into the techie stuff and do things that maybe you don't have to because we just love online streaming. So if you're one of those, the show is exactly for you. We've got an amazing guest today who's going to talk today about lighting and everything that you can do with lighting, different effects, and so on. So stay tuned. After the intro, we're going to get right to it. Prepare your questions because this show is all about the live Q&A. See you after the intro. Well, hi, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome, Alex Leitao from Sao Paulo. And I mispronounced your last
Hi,
name again.
Daniel.
Sorry,
Don't
Alex.
worry, man. It's really hard performance. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for inviting me to be here. It's really cool to try to help you guys.
Yes, this is amazing. And so Alex is, well, you say you're a hobbyist photographer, but really you're quite an expert. So tell us a little bit about how you got into the streaming game and the lighting game, and just so those who don't know you.
Yeah, was kind of a bit by mistake. Back in June, I guess. I'm doing photography for some time now, for quite some time. So I'm studying light for quite some time. And when it started the quarantine and everybody got locked down at their homes, I started to do a lot of video calls with some photographer friends. And at some point, someone mentioned, why we just don't get this calls, these video calls, and start to do a live. And we just decide to do it. Uh, by the way, thank you for this amazing product. It was really helpful because it makes things so easy. And by that time, we didn't have any experience with it, and we needed to put a show up. Using StreamYard, we could put the show up in 2 days with graphics and everything. So I start in June. I start with one show in Portuguese every Tuesday. And after that, a few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, I start a new project with my partner at Versace Studios. And we put another show about photography every Thursday at 6 p.m. CST. It's the Photo Talk show. We have a channel on YouTube. We send to Facebook too and on other destinations.
Really, really cool. And I've seen the show. I was really impressed, and I invited you to come on here and talk with us about lighting. So, a couple of announcements here before we get into the actual show. So, one thing, if you, we're going to be handing out a mug, StreamYard mug. So, if you just use the hashtag in the comments, I love StreamYard, and Alex will pick one of the winners at the end of the show, and you win a StreamYard mug. It's an oversized mug for your coffee, and it's really cool. I love my mug very much. So that's a cool little thing just for participating. Also, if you want to ask a question, I pick up the comments from the feed, but we get a ton of comments in here. And so if you want to make sure I see it, just use the hashtag ask. So it'll just make it easier for me to just notice the questions in there. And we're going to be trying something new today. So if you want to join us live here and have Alex maybe give you some feedback on your lighting situation. So you have to be willing to show your setup, your camera, and Alex can maybe give you a little bit of pointers about, okay, maybe get your lighting a bit, your light a bit farther away, closer, change a bit of your settings. I'm going to be posting the link in the comments, so you will be able to join. This is an experiment. So if it's first come, first serve, I'll be picking somebody out of there. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to be kicking everybody out because it's my first time trying this way. And that's part of the game here. So we try different things and try experimenting, right? So I'm going to post this in the comments, but bear with me. We're not going to be admitting people right away. We'll do it soon. So my first question for you, Alex, is show us your setup. What do you work with when you stream? We want to see your lighting and your setup, your studio.
Okay, I'll turn to my BTS camera, where you can see my studio. This is me sitting here. I have here my main light. There is the source of light that is giving more power to my face, that is illuminating my face in a predefined pattern that we're gonna talk about in a bit. I have my fill light to fill in the shadows on my face. And there is another one that you cannot see right now. There is on my left side here, the right side from the camera, if everything is okay. There's my kicker that gives me this ring light on the side of my face and gives a bit more of dramatic light, you know? The thing with light, and let me come back to my regular camera. The thing with light is you are working in a 2D world. So you have a picture, you have a video, there's no depth. Everything that we are doing here is trying to use light to create depth in the picture. Sometimes we're gonna add more drama. I can just turn off my fill here and bring it more darkness to my face. I have a video here that we're gonna talk about in a bit. So I can turn this and give some more shadow, so I can make the roundness of my face more apparent and make it let's put more 3D. So we are trying to change a 2D image into a 3D image using lights. So back to my situation here, to my BTS camera. So I have my main light, is always the most powerful light in the scene. I have my fill light. You can see by the brightness in the video that my fill light is less than half of my main light is the power of my main light. And I have a kicker coming from right across from the room that is hitting me on this side. Daniel, I cannot read the comments, but if you can put them on the screen, because I'm kind of far from the monitor, I cannot really see them. That's the point. Apart from that, I have two more things that more for the end of the show. I'm using a green screen here. So back to the main camera. I'm using a green screen here, and this screen needs to be lit even, or else it's not going to work the way it's supposed. So I have two more softbox here that are bouncing over the white ceiling and filling all the screen behind me. Let me show you the green screen. It doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to do it in the way you can really. Wait just a second. Tech is live, so forgive me. So here I have my green screen. So you see it's all wrinkled. In fact, there are two fabrics. I have one fabric here and I have another fabric in this wall. They are different colors. They are not the same color. And still I can pull out this effect just using light and trying to make both of them even. Let me turn my chroma key again and come back to this at Versace Studio International.
Yeah.
That's much more cool. So, guys, if you have questions, just send me in.
Okay, so we're gonna try this live question asking here and adding people to the stream and asking the questions. First one here is Ed, so I'm gonna bring Ed in, and let's do it this way. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, Alex. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Fine,
So
thanks. And what about
tell
you?
us where are you calling from and what's your question?
Newport, Rhode Island. And my question is, I've just got regular room light in this office, but with a DSLR camera. Uh, how much does the camera impact what you use for lighting? The quality of the
Okay,
camera.
so DSLRs are known for, if you have a full frame DSLR, DSLRs are known for having good sensibility to light. So if you have a full frame, you can pull off with the ceiling light, although you're not going to be in a pattern, what we call in photography like split light, split light, Rembrandt light, or clamshell light. You don't have a partner. You are coming, if you notice, under your eye socket, you're going to be a bit dark because the light is coming from up. But yes, the camera can influence the amount of noise you're going to get in your picture because of the ISO sensibility. What camera are you using?
It's a Nikon D3300.
D3300 is already a full frame. That's why your image is so clear. It's a very nice set.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thanks, Ed. Thanks for hopping in.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're very welcome. We'll try to evolve this this live question asking in the future, and maybe maybe make it a bit more interesting as we go along. So I appreciate you jumping in and doing this kind of rapidly, and see you next time.
All right. Take care.
Just
Thanks.
as I asked Ed, probably people want to know what I'm using as gear to capture my image. So this image you are seeing right now is Canon 6D Mark II. There is connected straight using the webcam utility. I have another picture. I have another camera. There is an old camera. It's a T4i. It's a cropped sensor camera that I'll use to show you how to set your exposure. So this is a T4i that is connected. It's not there yet. Okay, this one is a T4i. I'm using something like a Elgato Cam Link, but it's a Chinese one, and it works great. And on this camera, the BTS camera, it's just my phone that I hang over my ceiling to get this angle. So it's not there yet. I keep forgetting to do this. So this camera is just my phone. There's nothing fancy on it, and it works just great.
So did you put your phone on a tripod up there? How did you get it? How did you?
It's not even a tripod. This green screen behind me is on a backdrop stand. And I just clamp it to the backdrop stand right out, above my head so you can see it. I just clamp it with a regular clamp.
Super easy. Okay, great. And we have another question here. So another, let's see, another request to join. So let's see. I don't know how to read your name in Arabic.
I understand it, but I can speak English for you. I'm living in Norway and I'm from Afghanistan, and I'm using StreamYard, and we are using for activists because in Afghanistan is war there and 4.5 million have been killed. So we are using it for justice for those Afghan people who have been killed in 45 years in war in Afghanistan. I just found it, I have used the StreamYard now is my second year and I'm using it. I love it. It's very good thing to use to stream. But we have found one hole in StreamYard. There is some people who is hacking the StreamYard. When you are a guest in the program, they can change your name in ID and they can write whatever they want. They can write very bad thing about you down there, about your name. So we have sent to StreamYard the mail, but they are not answer us back. So if you guys can check it out and give us some feedback.
That's very, yeah. Well, definitely. I saw your comment in there, and I'll follow up after the show. Absolutely, for sure. And I appreciate definitely getting to know it.
And I've just lost comment because the StreamYard is very good thing to use, and it's very sad that people are using it to hack and destroying it, because it is helping us very much, to us Afghan people, to get our voice to other victim that we want justice for them. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, and thank you for the nice words. Yeah, a bit off topic there, but appreciate people joining in, and I didn't quite get the last guest name there. So did you notice his name, Alex?
No, I didn't get his
No.
name. I didn't get he said at the beginning of the talk, but I didn't get it.
Okay, so yeah, but I wanted to thank him mentioning his name. But let's get back to the questions here. So somebody was asking about how are you switching between different angles? Are you using a switcher? Are you using StreamYard? Because some people use StreamYard from multiple cameras. What are you?
We talked about this before the live, and I really I was sure that this question was going to come up. So can you share my screen?
Yes. There we go.
Okay, so I'm sending my audio and my camera through OBS straight to StreamYard using the webcam plugin, and I'm using Voicemeeter Banana to send my audio. So for me to change my screen, I just need to select another screen and just send it there. So everything's set. I just need to change it. It's pretty useful. Before that, what I used to do, and this is a tip, you can take the screen out. And this is a tip for you people that are starting. If you don't want to get into this tech part of OBS because it's really complicated, it's not easy, you can just log in twice. Use the same computer, log in twice, changing your camera settings and muting your microphone, and you will be able to have like 4 windows of yourself in the admin panel, so you can change cameras. I did that for a long time. In fact, I have today I'm using 3 cameras, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras here that I could put to use. And I use 4 cameras already just using StreamYard without using OBS. OBS is a new thing for me. We are doing this for the last, I don't know, 3 weeks. We are doing fine, but before that, we only use StreamYard connecting with Anonymous tab and another logging with another camera in the same computer.
Right. So this has been, I've been seeing more and more people doing this. They're using basically StreamYard logging in 2 different places, and then each one associated with a different camera, as you mentioned, and you can do something like this. I'm using the ATM Mini, but really I wasted my money buying it because you can do this with StreamYard. And you can also, what I'm going to be doing next week on the show, I'm going to be hooking up my camera or my phone camera, put it in the background here, and use that and log into StreamYard from my phone to the same account exactly, and be able to get another angle that way from my phone as another camera, and get a back shot. We'll try that out.
I guess everything goes on how much comfort you want to have. You can do it with StreamYard, but if you're doing it seriously every week, at some point you're gonna get tired of going there and logging in. So you do what? You buy a cut table like yours, a switcher like yours, or you start to use OBS to make your workflow easier. If you're just doing this for a hobby, just doing this like twice a month or once a month, probably never get tired. But if you do like 2, 3 shows a week, you're gonna want more comfort and try to do with a switcher or something else.
Right. Okay. Well, Lillian is asking to make the show and tell more visual. So I think that's a great cue to get maybe into a visual segment here, because you have something really spectacular. You use a software to illustrate lighting, and I saw you do this. I was like blown away by it. So let's take a look at this.
Okay, just for you to know, before you ask, this is Elixir Satellite 3D. Is a software we use for photography and can be used for video anyway. This is a set I built. So there is a dude there sitting on a table. and I built a 3-point light basics with a background light, so it will be 4-point lights. Let's turn off the lights first so we get a blank canvas and we can see exactly what each light is doing. One point we have to be in mind is that if you want to get cinematic light, if you want to get dramatic light, there are positions for you to set your light. This is a Rembrandt setup. So when I turn this light on, you're going to see that it creates, let me just make this bigger. Here you can see just a close shot of the face of the person, okay? So this light is creating a shadow on the opposite side, of course. But if you see, I'll click here and you see the shadow darker. You can see I put a triangle under his eye. This light is 45 degrees to his left side and is coming down 45 degrees. This gives you exactly this triangle under his eyes. Is the kind of light that the painter Rembrandt used to paint his portraits, and is a very, very, very used light in cinema and photography. So I'll turn this light off for 1 second. This is one of the light setups we're going to talk about, Rembrandt. And I will turn light by light on this software so you can see. First thing first, you need to set up your camera position. You need to set up the place where you're going to be sitting, because all the lights you go from that. The first light I'll turn is the hair light. This light, it will only create some separation on his hair from the background. So this is what the hair light does. Let me zoom out a bit. It's just creating a bit of light on the top of his head so his hair doesn't blend in the background. Then I have here a kicker.
Hold on a second, Alex. Let's just back up 1 second. So this hair light, is that, how do you set it up so it creates that effect? Is that just a regular light?
Okay, so let's come back a bit and go to the basic points first. I'm pro to using the light you have. So I'm not telling you to buy expensive gear. You can use work lamps if you want. The principles will be the same. Right here, I have a LED light, a professional LED light setup. This software allows me to choose the kind of light I want, the power of the light and everything. I use professional lights here. They are national Brazilian lights, are not Aperture or Godox, but they are super professional, but you don't need to. The point here is to get what? Is to get the position, to get the amount of power. So I recommend you to always have some light that is dimmable, because you need control of the power of the light, and try to block it from getting in other places that you don't want. You have to manage the spew of light. So this light has like a cone, like a tube that allows me to put the light on the hair without spilling in the background, and that's the important part of it.
Okay, so you just erect it at the top of the head.
Yeah, so if I come here and I click it, let me just change the angle here so you can see it better. If I click this light and try to move it, you're gonna see where is it? It's pointing. You know, there's a laser dot there.
And now we can see that it's actually coming from behind. So that
from behind.
Got it. Okay, so it's coming from behind and up slight angle, in an angle.
Yeah. Another point that is very important when you are working with light is that you don't turn all the lights on at the same time and try to see what each one is doing. So you do, when you build your set, you do it light by light. So you're first gonna get your main light. I'm doing the reverse order here. You're gonna put your main light on. You're gonna check how the light is putting the shadows in the face. Then you're gonna turn it off, the main light. You're gonna put the second light and see what that light is doing till you get all the 3 or all the 4 or how many lights you are using. So you know exactly what each one is doing. Okay, so don't turn all at the same time. So this is the hair light.
That's the best advice I got so far, because I'm always trying to adjust them at the same time. I love it.
No.
Yeah.
If you do that, is a recipe for disaster, because you don't know what each light is doing. Anyway, so this light is just giving me some ring light here over his hair. So his hair doesn't blend with the background, the black background. His hair is black, the background is black. So we give a ring light here to make the subject pop out the background. So we create depth. So I'll turn a kicker. What is a kicker? Okay, we have several kinds of light positions. And the kicker is just a light that will make the jaw and the side of the face of your subject to get lit and bright. So you can check here. When I turn a kicker in his face, I get this side. I think you can see my mouse. I get just his jaw and the side of his face shining. Okay? So that's the position where a kicker supposed to get in. It doesn't hit the nose, and this is dramatic lighting, okay? This is cinema lighting. It doesn't get on the nose. It gets just half of the face, just a bit of the face, and give it a shine. And as I was saying before, the idea here is to create depth. So if everything has the same power, you just get a flat light. You don't have depth. So if you see here, this is the power of my hair light. I will talk to you and explain how much is the basics, how is the difference in between each light after we talk about the positions, okay? So this is the amount of my hair light. This is the amount of my kicker light. And this, when I turn it up, it will be the amount of my main light. So this is my main light. And with this, what we get a lit subject that has a shadow on his face, right in the middle of his face here, and has a shine in the backside of his face. And this is creating depth. Right now, you can see that his face is kind of getting round. If I had only one light on this, let me turn this off, and let me turn this off. If I have just one light and I get this light, let me zoom out a bit more to the side and point at his face. Wait, this is kind of hard to control. You're going to start to lose that curve because you're going to start to make this shadow too bright, So that's what you give depth, the difference in between shadow and light. As beginners with light, we always think we have to make everything bright. We don't. We just put the light in the right position and make part of the face as bright. And as we are talking about video and YouTube and lives, no one want to have just a gray background. So everybody wants a light in the background. So I just hide one light here so we can throw a bit of blue in the background. So coming back here. And this is the picture you see is a fade from blue to gray. And you got this is a bit of the soft box in the frame. And that's how you build a set of light. But now, we have any questions?
No, people have been listening very, very attentively. There were some comments, but no questions so far. So I think you've been doing a great job explaining. This is
okay. So
quite visually stimulating. I mean, this is amazing to see it. I have a question about that last, or about the different types of light. So you mentioned they're all just the same light, but placed differently in different locations and with maybe a cone and angle differently, right? That's the whole trick here. You don't have to get special lights with special coloring or anything like that, right? Okay, great. So I think that's
what I recommend that is a key point for me. You want a soft light in your face because soft light is more flattering to the face. Okay, so what I recommend you, if you don't want to spend money with professional lights, at least spend money with some real modifiers. Like, let me come back to my BTS camera. Just 1 second. Where is my? So my BTS camera here. Like this octabox or a softbox, a square one, it doesn't matter. Why? Because these things are made for making the light flattering. If you just if you just get a sheet of paper, you do the same effect, but we're gonna be hard to handle it because this softbox, I'll come back there again. Okay, guys, is live. I didn't plan exactly what I will talk about, so sometimes I'll keep changing cameras. Okay, this format and this black material avoid the light to spill everywhere, and I can use this white light just on me. And you have another thing. Let me grab it. Just 1 second.
I think this answers Christian's question that was asking, light without a shade, can it be useful? I was just filling in while they were gone, and I think that the answer is you want to control where the light goes and really adjust it as much as you can. So I'll let you keep going, Alex.
Okay. I will answer. I want to answer that question. Just give me 1 second to finish this thought. So you can use this kind of stuff. Come back to the regular camera. You can use this kind of stuff. There is a grid, it's a honeycomb that will allow you to direct the light on you and not spill in the background. So you can make your background pretty black, pitch black, using one of these instead of just using the diffuser material. So that's why modifiers are so much more important than professional lights. You're gonna say something?
This honeycomb, you just drop it on top of the light, and it acts like those blinders on horses, right? It just lets the light go shine in a direction, like a flashlight. Just
it comes with it comes with Velcro. You just attach to the front of the softbox, and it will just direct the light straight to you. You don't need to try to keep moving the light so it doesn't spill in the background. You know.
Yeah. So
he asked about
question. Yeah. So
yeah, lamps without shades. Yeah, you can totally do it, but it will be a very harsh light because the size of the light is too small. And this is a basic rule. As smaller as your light source is, more harsh your light will be. So can you share my screen again, just for 1 second?
Of course.
This light you are seeing here, this light is a soft light. You see the transition to light from shadow is a gradient, okay? This would be a hard light where the lines are marked. You can see the lines of the transition, okay? So a softbox is used to make your light bigger and make softer because it's bigger. So what you can do to get a soft light out of a regular lamp without a shade? Baking paper. Baking paper is your best friend. So what you do, you grab baking paper, you make a layer in front of your light, and this will make your light bigger and be more flattering in your face. If you don't want to use a softbox, if you don't have money to invest in a softbox, baking paper, that's what you can use.
And that's really all they do is put some kind of, some material that just the same effect, and you're paying for it, right?
It's not even about the material itself. It's about making the light source bigger. The material is going to help you to not have shiny spots in your face. It will diffuse the shiny spots. Yeah. Making your light bigger, because the light you're going to hit the paper, and your light will be the paper, will not be the lamp behind the paper. So it's making bigger, and you make your light very soft. Okay, you have any other questions about the setup? I want to talk about one light, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Now let's talk a bit. Here I put 4 lights in the setup, and everyone who's starting doesn't have 4 lights. So what do I do? Let's suppose I don't have this light. I don't have, this light. And I don't have a background light. So I just have a main light. I have a 150 watts bulb inside a softbox or behind a sheet of paper, a sheet of baking paper. What can I do to fix these shadows? Because those shadows are too dark. how I know the shadows are too dark, I'm losing details on the skin. I cannot see his skin. I can only see black at some points. So I have to fill the skin in to bring a bit more of the face. What do I do is I can get a phone, a white phone. I can get any kind of white material. Can be paper, can be bed sheet. It doesn't matter. Any kind of white material. And I just drag it to this side. When I drag it to this side and I put it in the right position, you're going to see, I'm putting up, okay? I could just, it's just to make it easier. I don't need to put that up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when I drag it
With the angle. Yeah. You get the angle right.
Over a table. It's just to get the angle right. Okay. The software is great, but sometimes it's really hard to control the, I'm just zoom out here. I'm just bringing the, it's easier to do it again. Oh. Yeah, now the software just gave up on me. Just 1 second. Okay, so I just bring that reflection. Oh.
I see. Yeah, you want to show up.
Right to his face.
Oh, yeah, it was almost there.
I pass it.
Yeah, here it's. It was there for a second, and here, right there. Yeah,
it's right here. Making that side. Is it still shadowy? Is it still not as lighting as the main light? The main light is it's called the main for one reason. It's the most powerful light in the scene. But it's less shadowy. You can see his skin. It's not pitch black, you know? So that's the point. You have to balance all those lights. Why light is such an important thing? Those graphics will not be as cool as the first one, but I want to show you guys something. There's a slide. This is why light is so important for us when we are doing a video or photography or anything else. The middle picture, the picture with a 0 under it, is the right exposed picture. This is how her skin tone is supposed to look like. This is how the red of her hair is supposed to look like. And the jacket and all the colors are fixed. It's right on point. Every time you get your exposure lower, you change the colors. Can you see how this red is much more saturated than this red? How this jacket is much more black than that one? How this, now to the other side of the spectrum, how her hat here is more like pink than red? So when you fix your exposure, and when you have your exposure right on point, all colors we're going to get exactly on point. You're going to have the colors right. So that's the importance of the exposure and how you use your lights. Let me take this out. And should we teach them how to fix the exposure?
But we've got a couple of questions here. Before we get into exposure, maybe we have a couple of questions here about lights. So
okay,
Gulf Coast Granny is asking. You're saying using the baking sheets, for example, but she's saying she's got fluorescent lighting in her kitchen above her, right? What can she do to soften that? That's a bit of a challenge.
Okay, it's not only a bit of challenge because of the soft light, but it's a bit of challenge because of the position. What is the point here? First, if you're using fluorescent light, if you have any way to change it for, I just got a blank. How is the name of the yellow lamps in English?
The incandescent.
Tungsten. Incandescent tungsten. If you can change it, it's better because fluorescent lights, they give you a green cast. So you're going to look a bit green if you use only fluorescent lights. It depends on the CRR of the light. I don't want to get too technical here, but it may cause you to get green. So if you can change it for a tungsten, incandescent, light, the yellow ones, it will be much better. But the problem is not making that light soft. The problem is the position. When you have an overhead light, what you're gonna get is shadows under your eyes because the light is coming from here. Your eyebrows, you're gonna make shadow under your eyes, and you don't want that. So uh, what I recommend to you is turn that light off, or even if you can keep it on, but bring a regular lamp like the one you have behind you, Daniel. Just bring that to the table and use that. Even if it's just a bulb and a wire, and you can put the paper around it. Don't touch it because it will burn the paper or can make an accident. So put the paper a bit far from it. But avoid to use ceiling light because ceiling light it will create this pattern of shadow that is really bad. You're gonna get what we call raccoon eyes. So try to bring the light a bit down. Usually the light should be like 2 feet, 1 feet from your face in this diagonal. Okay, so it you get a more flattering light than the ceiling one. We have more.
Yeah. So, quick note here from Kevin, who is saying fluorescent light is green, tungsten is red. So I'm not.
Yeah, tungsten. You're gonna need the white balance adjustment, and fluorescent. We're not gonna need the white balance adjustment. You need to do adjustment in your camera called tint, and this is much more complex than doing just the white balance. Even if you set your white balance to the right Kelvin, you still can get a green overcast.
Christian is asking. So you're saying between all the different kits available, right? So is the difference in what does the difference in price indicate to us at all? Uh, what do you get for the very expensive ones versus the very cheap
Yeah,
ones?
you get what you pay for. Okay, that's I will never say, oh, with DIY lights you're gonna do better than I do with professional lights. But the difference will be you can come from. I'll talk about professional lights, okay? Because I think everybody knows the difference about DIY to professional lights. Uh, when you talk about professional lights, you're gonna get a better CRI. There is the color rendition index, so your colors are gonna be better. You're gonna get a better control of the amount of power you can put out of your lights. You're gonna get other features like adjust on the color temperature. You're gonna get even I don't have it here. My lights are not that expensive, but you're gonna get clickers. So of course, a aperture light will be much better than a Godox one. But the Godox, we're gonna do the job as the same as the aperture one.
We've got a few more questions here that are coming in. Let's see. Gabriel is asking. Oh, actually, Stephen Kaplan is asking if you had one soft light box with a stand to buy, which one would it be?
One, if I would buy one only soft box with the light or just the soft box?
I'm not sure, but if you could only buy one light,
Right
what
now,
light would it be?
right now, uh, I will go for any Godox product. They have the SL60, SL160. They have another one called SL100. They are LED lights. I would buy any kind of octabox with a grid. I don't buy octabox without the grid because you never find the grid to buy on the right side, right size for it. So buy it with the grid. And can you put the question again? And stands, any stands as long as you hold the weight of your light. But for me right now in the States, I would go for Godox for any SL line from Godox. Any lights from SL line will be okay. You can go for a light panel like Yongno, and even Godox has some. But the problem is it will be hard for you to find the standard modifiers that will fit that. You're gonna end up with small modifiers. You're gonna end up with hard light, or you're gonna have to use it flat in your face, so you're not gonna be able to use the shadows the way you want.
Okay, we got a couple of more questions here. Gabriel, or Gabriel Garcia Agui Agire, I guess. I'm not. Sorry if I mispronounced
Hey,
it.
lighting theory. Lighting theory. I like those kind of questions, you know.
The fluorescent light
Yes.
silicone paper, right? Um, what would
I'll give you
transform
the
the screen?
scientific. I'll give you the scientific answer, and then I will tell you the real answer. Okay. Yet it could work. You can just get a magenta cellophane paper, put it in the lamp, and you're gonna avoid the greens. But for you to find the right amount of magenta, you're gonna spend like 10 years trying to find it, and you're not gonna find it because they don't do it. We have it on lighting. We have corrective gels and creative gels. The corrective ones are used exactly for what you are talking, put in front of the light to change the white balance of that light, but they only make it on orange tones to make cold lights warmer, or blue tones to make warm lights colder. So to do it with green, you're gonna get crazy before you can really make it.
Um,
It's easier to fix in your camera or fix on post.
there you go.
Oh,
Nikki,
don't get me wrong. Ring lights are cool. Ring lights
okay.
are really cool. I like them. You could use it. You can get one of those. Let me come back to my BTS camera. You can get one of this material. This is just nylon. Okay. You can get this white material, just hang in front of a BTS to make less specular. So let's talk again about this. This material is used for two things: to make the light a bit bigger because the light will spread around the material, okay, and to make less specular. What I mean by less specular, do you know those shiny spots that hit your face when you are putting the light? I have a bit here. I guess here you can see a bit of shine spot.
Yes.
This is not too shiny because there is the material in front of it.
Yeah.
So this material, the main function of it, the main function of it is to take this shine spots out. Of course, if you are sweaty, it's not going to work. But it you take the hot spot out of your face. But you can totally get one of these, put in front of your ring light, and it will work perfectly. I like ring lights, by the way.
Okay, awesome. That's great. Yeah, I think in principle, the ring light main advantage is that you can put the camera right in the center of it. So if that's all you've got and you're on the go, on the travel, it puts the light, and it's fairly close by. It'll light up your face more or less evenly. I think that's the idea behind it.
If it's a good ring light, like an expensive one who can put a lot of power, you don't need to use right in front of the camera. You can just use it as I show you. Put 45 degrees to the side and down. You're gonna have the same lighting. It's light. You can use the same way you use any other lights. You're not gonna make any difference, especially if you hang a sheet over a bed sheet or a nylon material in front of it. It will work exactly as a softbox.
Okay, great. I think we had a bunch of comments, but I think the questions are more or less in here. Let's see. I think there might have been another question I missed. If I missed somebody, I apologize. Ask a question again if I missed it, or if we didn't answer it.
Oh, that's cool. He wanna join. Can he join?
Yeah, I gave
He's
the link.
using the white bulb
Saying,
with the paper in front of him.
I think it's just like comment. I would join, but maybe he's not actually. But yeah, I put the comment link to join in the comments. If you want to join up, we're bringing guests live here. We had a few in the beginning. It'll be, if you want to join in again, we'll do that again. So just up here, we got somebody in. Let's see how this goes. Again, it's our first time trying this. Let's see where this goes. And I think I'm just waiting for him to like connect properly. Here we go. And this is going to be interesting. Let's see. Oh, he removed himself. Okay, never mind then. Let's see where we go. Hair lighting. Okay, good. So Yeah, lots and lots of information here. So let's try to sum it up and bring it back to like really, really basic again, because we went into like really. Oh, here's another guest. Let's see. And I think, and I have a just looking at him. I think he's into lighting. So here we go into like really. Oh, and we got an echo.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Charles?
Hey, Charles.
I'm good. I'm so glad that you're doing this episode for lighting because that's my main thing. Like I'm stressed about lighting. Where do I put it? How many do I put? Do I put 6 here, 4 here? And yeah, I'm a StreamYard user for a while. It's just I got one ring light right now, as you can see, just around my camera, and then I got 2, backlights. But I want more. I think that it's too much of a lighting right here on my forehead, and then you see some shadows. So what can I do to give me more of an impact lighting?
Okay, so can you share my screen again so we can talk
Yeah.
a bit? The ring light is right in front of you, Charles?
Yeah, it's right over my, see right there. Here, I can, and I actually turned it down. So I'm going to show you that's off.
Wow, what a difference.
Okay.
So, and then right now I'm going to turn it back on. And it's at,
Can you move the ring light?
that's a ring light. Yeah.
It's easy for you to move. It's easy for you to move it.
Yeah, I can move it.
Want to try to put it just a bit to the side?
So here's the
To
question.
your right side or to your left side?
Okay, so that's my question for you. Do you need one or should you have 2 on either side bringing the light in?
Okay, I will show you one thing. Just give me 1 second. I will turn this light off, okay?
Okay.
So let me show you my screen here again. So this is my setup. I have one here. That is my main light. I have one here. There is my fill light. This fills the shadows. And I have a kicker coming. I think you can notice you cannot notice because I'm in the wrong camera. You can notice I have a ring light right off my side here. This is shining. See it? So what I will do is, if you can just turn off this light.
Yeah.
I think here, if you can just bring me solo on the screen so people can see it. Now you can see that I just got a shadow right in the middle of my face. So shadow is what you create drama. I'm using just one light coming from here and one light that not supposed to be there, okay? Is because if I put it in the right place, you're gonna show up on frame. But what you do is you put one light here coming at 45 degrees to your face, and you get the other light and coming 45 degrees from your back. It's like a diagonal line from this light, this first light, coming back to my back. Okay, BTS. It's a 45-degree lights coming from here to here. Oh, let me see, here. So if I put another one here, I'll give that shiny part here. I'll give a shadow in the middle of the face to make my face rounded. And this side of the face will be lit. Okay. So what I recommend you to do is turn your ring light a bit to one of the sides, choose one of the sides. Then you can just, or put one light coming from a diagonal line to this front light coming from your back, or you can just use a reflector in the other side. You put 45 degrees here and a reflector on this side just to fill in the shadow.
Okay, so here's my last question. I think everybody has the same question all the time. What level of light do you use from both sides? Is it the same exact light, or do you shadow one light less than one, or do you put them both exactly the same? Because with a ring light,
no,
I can go with my ring light, and if I do this now, I can change it. See the exposure light, how bright it is.
Oh.
Or I can turn it down. So which version are you using?
What camera are you using, Charles?
I'm using not a camera. I'm using a 22 Logitech.
Oh, okay. So the main light is always the most powerful light in the set. So if you're gonna put the ring light to your left or to your right, it doesn't matter. That will be your main light, and it will be the most powerful light in the set. If you use another ring light coming from the other side, it will be half of the power of that light.
Okay.
And now we get to the drama. If you put half of the power, you're gonna put this one amount of drama. If you put 1/4 of the power, you're gonna make darker shadows. You're gonna put more drama in your image. So they are never the same amount. But you can choose. You can just use your creativity to choose how much juice you're gonna put in the other light. So never the same power. At least half low, half of the power of the main light. But you can go to 1/4 or less. It depends on how you want your image.
Listen, that's been a great help. I appreciate it. So now I gotta go Christmas shopping.
Just one last thing. Why you don't make it both at the same power? Because you're gonna get flat light. You're not gonna have shadows in your face. And if you put the lights just a bit more, you're gonna have a double shadow. So you have to really be careful. Main light always the strongest one. The other one's always lower than the main light.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Charles, thank you for jumping in with us.
No problem. This has been great.
Great. And we got one last one.
We have another guest?
We have one last one I want to bring in, and then we'll wrap it up. So is that okay? Should we go for it now? Yeah. Aline, hi. Thanks for joining. Oh, you're muted.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Aline.
Hello. So I'm Aline, and we go live actually every week with StreamYard. And this is one of the backgrounds that we use from time to time. I know that from listening to the previous discussions that it's probably too much light, but I don't have that much reflection because I'm darker. So maybe it's okay. I use 2 soft lights here. There is just a normal lamp here. And I can use, for example, this type of light, LED light behind me.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's a hazard if I move my chair in any way. And yeah, those are the 3 lights that I use mainly.
Yeah, but mainly if you want the background to get darker, you're gonna need this kind of thing.
Okay, so I'd put that.
I'm seeing that you are using a standard reflector on your side. Can you just turn a bit your camera so I can see that reflector in your left side?
It's not a reflector. It's just a lamp. Yeah.
Okay. You can find that as the name of grid or honeycomb on eBay.
Okay.
They have small ones that you not really fit in your light. Okay. But you can just tape it or use clamps to put it there, and the light you're not going to spew in the background. It just go through you.
I have a big reflector, a big, large gold one. Would that be too much, do you think?
No, it depends. You are putting right in front of you?
I would put it right in front of me, if you suggest so.
Yeah. Try to put it to the side and as close as you can to you. Because then it comes another scientific principle that is inverse square law, but as more close as you put to you, less power you need and less the light you're going to go to the background. You're going to just illuminate you.
Okay. So the most important thing is to illuminate me and not the background, to focus on myself.
In fact, the most important thing when you talk about light is having control of it. If you want the light to illuminate all the room, it's okay. It's not a problem. It's not wrong. But if you have control, you can decide if you want to illuminate the background or not. You know?
Okay.
That's the real point. That's the real thing. If you can put some grids on it, you can just decide, oh, today I want the background brighter. Today I want the background darker. So you can take your creativity and use it the way you want.
Okay. And do you think that I should have more things in the background that brings more shadow and texture to the actual scene overall?
I think your scene is kind of cool. I would just try to put or the big plant, or more to the side or more inside and take that reflector, that light, the lamp you are
Mhm.
using, put it back
Yeah.
so it doesn't show up on the frame. But your frame is really cool.
Okay.
If you put some
Okay.
bit of colorful light there, you'll be perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ah, great. Perfect.
that looks great.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
And
Aline.
straight on is good. Thank you.
Thanks for hopping in. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Oh, Daniel, I know we are out of time, but if I don't show how to measure the exposure, my partner will just really beat me to death, you know. So
Well,
I
I
need
know what we should do. We should. I think that leaves us for a follow-up talk at some point where we
Okay.
can do something again and do like measuring the exposure or something else. We also have a couple of other live shows, so I think it'll be awesome. This was extremely engaging, and I love the way people jumped in and asked questions. So probably it'll be good to do a follow-up. And if you guys watching, if you want us to follow up on any more specific topics around lighting again with Alex, please put in the questions like what kind of follow-up would you like, any kind of specific topic you want to cover. Let's get that in the show. But we do have to wrap this up. So one thing we promised people in the beginning is we'd pick a winner for the mug. So if you don't mind scrolling through the comments, you might have to scroll high up. You might scroll down low. There are people who jumped in from the beginning and now at the end. And use the hashtag I love StreamYard.
Okay.
Pick one that you like. And
Lauren Joyce.
can you?
Just got it.
Which one?
Lauren Joyce.
Maureen. So Maureen,
Yeah,
if you're,
on the screen. Lauren, you with an L.
Laureen. Okay, I'm trying to find her.
I'll send in the comments. My accent is killing.
Yeah. So Laureen, I'll try to find you here somewhere. I have to dig through lots and lots of comments. Oh, here. Yeah, I think I know a good trick to find search in the comments here. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, Laureen. There we go. Laureen Joyce. If you're still with us, you just want a StreamYard mug. So just DM me, just hit my name there in the direct message. I will find you as well, and we will ship you over a StreamYard mug. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us. So, Alex, last chance to just maybe tell people where they can find you, learn more about you. You mentioned you had a couple of shows. Tell them a bit about that, and we'll end the show right there.
Right now, the links are not in the description, but I'll ask Daniel to put it. We have a show in English every Tuesday, 6 p.m. CST time. It's the Photo Talk channel, okay, on YouTube. Photo Talk show. I sent you in the private channel every Tuesday. And there we have a lot of in-depth material from some lives we did in the past with lighting for photography that is exactly the same light for videography. So if you go there, you're going to even see we lighting a set with a model and showing how it works. And I have a Brazilian show in Portuguese, but I don't think there are too many Brazilians here. There is the Photo Squad. It's under my channel, so Alexandre Leitao Fotografia channel on YouTube. I'll leave the links. I'll ask Daniel to put the links on the description of the video so you can find it easy. We have a lot in the English. We have a lot of material about lightning, in-depth lightning.
Awesome. So that was really great and really amazing session here. You really gave a tremendous amount of advice, and I really loved the fact that people could hop in and actually get some one-on-one feedback here. I think that was really useful for a lot of us to see, myself as well. Not using all the lights at the same time. You don't want everything to be bright. Create some drama and some practical tips about how to get there. So awesome. Alexander, thank you. Thank you, all of you, for joining in. We appreciate it. We'll be here again next week, same time. We'll have a new guest. We have a whole bunch of guests lined up. But if you also want to be a guest on the show, showcase your tech, what you're doing, we'd love to have you. So DM me. You can find me through the post, and we'll get in touch and we'll put you on the show. Thanks again, and see you next week.